Okay, so today's short video golf tip is on long distance pace putting. Now I have to admit that this is one that I got from the famous golf sports psychologist Bob Rotella. If you don't know about Bob Rotella, he has worked with many of the best pros. He's been working with Rory McIlroy this year, and a lot of people think that the work that Rory's done with Bob Rotella is a big reason why we've seen his return to form. He's written the most famous book called Golf is Not a Game of Perfect. If you've not read it, go and read it. It's a real eye-opener. Now I read that in my early 20s, and back then it didn't really resonate with me because I was a young golfer. I was fearless, you know. I just had a totally positive outlook on golf. But now that I've got to 50 and I went and downloaded the audio book, oh boy did it register with me, because my mindset now at 50 is totally different to what it was when I was in my early 20s. And he says about putting that, he uses this great analogy, okay? What he's saying is you shouldn't let your brain get in the way of your performance. Your brain is the most powerful tool that we have when we play golf, but it can also be the one thing that destroys us, okay? Now he uses this great analogy. He says that if you put a 40-foot bench or beam on the floor and asked us to walk across it, we would just walk across it. We wouldn't think about it. We'd just walk across it, no problem. But then if we put that beam 40 foot in the air with no safety net, all of a sudden fear is being introduced. We start to think about walking across the beam. We tighten up. We start to, think about our movements across the beam. Whereas if it was on the floor, we just did it, okay? And it's the same in golf. As soon as those thoughts get into our head, then that's when problems start. And on long putting, he has this theory, and I'm going to show you what I do. Let me just get this ball. So, I've got about a 35 foot putt here across the green, across the break. So, you read the putt exactly as you would. And then, eventually, you pick out a spot which becomes your target. And that's the key thing with Bob Rotella. It's about identifying a target, okay? So when you get behind the ball, or I get behind the ball, I line up on my ball on my target, okay? And then simply, as I step into it, and this is all what Bob Rotella says, and I found that it really helps, is I get behind the ball, I have one practice stroke, and then place the putter behind the ball, and then just focus, look at that target and just focus on that target, okay? And then come down and then just hit the putt. And what he says is, when your brain focuses entirely on a target, now this target can't be, oh, I think it's 2.5 inches outside the hole, okay? It's got to be very specific. A tiny little mark in the green, a blade of grass, a little old pitch mark, something as minute as it can possibly be, because your brain is going to concentrate on that, and that's what you're going to focus in on. So I've lined up my putt, I've got my target just outside. I can see a mark about a foot outside the right of the hole. I've lined up my line on that mark. I step in, one practice putt, line up my putter on my line on my ball, look at my target, focus on it, look at my ball, and go. Oh my God, that was no edit on that. There was no edit on that at all. That was all one piece of film. So basically, it's a leap of faith, this one, okay? You need to really buy into it and really give it a try. But honestly, if you really just let your brain concentrate on that target and then just hit the putt, don't think about hitting the putt. It's like when you say, I started thinking about walking across the beam in the air, just hit the putt. Your brain has made all those calculations. It's telling your body what to do. Just trust it, okay? So just line your ball up on your target, one practice stroke, look at your target, focus on that target as much as you can, concentrate on that target as much as you can, then look at your ball and then just swing your putter. Trust me, your brain will tell your body how hard to hit that ball. It's really interesting. I found it to be absolutely fantastic. Go and give it a try. I'm sure you will be very surprised at how good this feels. And once you start to really do it and really trust it, it can be absolutely fantastic, especially on those longer putts for pace. Okay, that's today's video done. Hope you really enjoyed it. Hope you really found it useful. Go and try it, and I'll see you in the next video.